Over time, I've become much more careful about calling slow execution resistance, because there are times when a team isn't pushing back on the decision. Instead, they're checking whether leadership actually means it this time. You may have seen this happen. A decision leaves the leadership meeting sounding clear. The owner is named, the date is set, nobody raises a major objection, and then a day or two later, very little has changed. The old process is still running, the announcement hasn't gone out, people are quietly keeping both plans alive. From the leadership table, that can look like a commitment problem. But there's a question I'd want to ask before reaching that conclusion. What happened the last time these people acted quickly on a leadership decision? Suppose they changed the schedules, moved the work, or told customers what was happening, and then the first difficult exception reopened the call. The people who moved first had to undo the work. The people who waited didn't. That history changes how I'd read the delay. It helps to separate resistance from low closure confidence. Resistance says, I don't support this decision. Low closure confidence says, I'm not sure this decision will still be standing when the pressure arrives. Those two things can look almost identical on a status report. Work is slow, commitments are cautious, the old option remains available, but they don't have the same cause, so they don't need the same response. If the problem is resistance, you may need to understand the disagreement or address a consequence that hasn't been resolved. If the problem is low closure confidence, another forceful announcement won't do much. The team needs different evidence from the decision system. There are 3 questions I'd use to find out which situation I'm looking at. First, what did acting early cost people last time? Did they have to redo work, reverse a customer message, rebuild a schedule, or explain why a supposedly final call had changed? Second, which predictable pressure are they waiting for now? It may be the first customer escalation, a difficult budget conversation, or a senior leader questioning the trade-off. If everyone can already name the moment they expect the decision to weaken, that tells you something important. Third, what would give them credible evidence that this decision will hold? This is where I'd make the pressure explicit while the decision is still being closed. You might say, we expect the first customer escalation. That escalation alone will not reopen this decision. We'll reconsider it only if new evidence crosses the condition we've agreed. That is much more useful than asking people to trust leadership to move faster. It tells them what pressure the decision is expected to survive and what would legitimately bring it back. And if leadership does change the decision, I think it matters to acknowledge the rework created for the people who acted early. Otherwise, the system teaches the same lesson again. Waiting is safer than committing. Closure confidence isn't built by sounding certain in the meeting. It's built by what the decision does when the first predictable objection arrives. So if you're looking at a priority that seems to be moving too slowly, I'd pause before calling the team resistant. Ask what happened the last time they acted early, what pressure they're waiting for now, and what evidence would show them that this decision can hold. If this gave you a useful way to look at something happening in your organization, then be sure to like the video and follow or subscribe for more practical ideas about improving decision velocity. And if someone you work with may be reading Learned Caution is Resistance, share this video with them. If one important priority is already losing momentum in this way, you can also take the Hidden Drag Diagnostic. I've included the link in the description below. It can help you look at whether the decision, ownership, authority, trade-offs, or human dynamics around that priority are still creating drag. And if it surfaces something you'd like to discuss personally, be sure to reach out to me. I'd be glad to hear what's happening in your situation and have a conversation about what may be keeping the priority stuck. My name is Warren Winowski. Thanks for watching.